To order. It's July 10th. It's regular 717 school board meeting, and we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Deb Polly,
Here.
Sarah Lanen, Lauren Pedersen,
Here.
Molly Maniak,
Here.
Rob Langheim,
Here.
Corinne Hennon,
Here.
Jenny Kuski.
Here.
Thank you. Consideration of agenda. There was no last minute changes, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as published.
Motion to approve.
That was Molly. Is there a second? Jenny seconds. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. So we have some fun awards tonight. This is always my favorite part of the meetings. So I will turn it over to Superintendent Evenson.
Chair Polly, members of the board, members of the community that are here joining us. We always love to celebrate Jordan Pride, and we have some amazing kiddos in our district, which we all know, but we'd like to celebrate track and field and golf tonight. And so I think I saw Coach Nylander back there. We'll have him come up and talk a little bit with his track coaches. I think we have Kelly here as well, and we'll talk a little bit about track, and then we'll shift to golf.
Well, hello, welcome. Thanks for having us today. We really appreciate being here. It's great. You know, it's summer, and of course, you know, all of our kids are off doing different things and whatnot, so weren't able to make it, but we definitely would love to talk on their behalf. So we had a great, I'm the boys' head track coach, and we had a great season this year. One of our biggest accomplishments as a team this year was winning the Wright County Championship. And so that was the second straight year we've done that, and took a lot of pride in doing that. That was pretty awesome. And then individually, we had some very exceptional athletes this year. It was amazing to see. We had 3 athletes that made it on the boys' side to the Hamlin Elite Meet this year, which is very prestigious. It's basically like going to the state meet as well. It's actually harder to get into than the state meet. So that would have been Elijah Hagan went in the discus, Caleb Sharp went in the mile and 800, and then Carter Runge went in the high jump, and all 3 of them did very, very well when they were there. But then, I guess what we're here to celebrate today is the athletes that went to the actual state meet. And we also had 3 individual athletes that went to the state meet. Elijah Hagan went in the discus. Caleb Sharp went in the mile and 800. And then Carter actually, even though he'd been in the elite meet, he just barely missed in the high jump. And so we had Leo Siekman, though, that made it in the pole vault. And so all 3 of them had just amazing seasons and wrapped it up really well. Leo was our first athlete to compete, actually, at the state meet, and he was in the pole vault. Had kind of a weird situation. He was at 12 feet, and he had missed his first 2 attempts. You know, a little bit different. The first time he didn't get high enough. The second time he got enough height but not enough depth kind of deal. Gets to his 3rd jump, and it looks like he makes it, and we're all kind of celebrating and getting ready for the next height. And all of a sudden, up on the screen pops an X. And we were all kind of confused at what happened. And here, just the most fluky thing happened. The bar had kind of bounced a little bit, and it wasn't held on the peg anymore. It was actually up on the standard itself, which I've been coaching a long time, and I didn't even know that was a rule. I didn't know that can even happen. So, and it took a pretty observant observation to even see it in the first place. But anyway, so he did very well. He was 13th, I believe, in the pole vault. Caleb ended up then going and running the mile and 800. For prelims, he ended up running a really nice race. He's the defending state champion in the 800, and he ran the 2nd fastest time in prelims going into the state final. And in the state final, on the 2nd day, he ran the mile first, had a little bit of a disappointing 6th place finish. He was hoping for a little bit better in a tough field, but then he came back with a really strong 800, which is more his race. And he ended up running within actually a better time than he'd run to set the state record the year before, but a guy just beat him by a couple tenths, and they're just a really, really good competition. And then our last competitor was Elijah Hagan, and he was really cool in the sense that he was 3rd in our section, which normally wouldn't even go to state, but because he ran or threw a state qualifying mark, he was able to go. So it's pretty hard to hit a state standard, but he did it and was able to go. Once he got there, he really showed that he deserved to be there. On his second throw of the day, he ended up throwing what was the state meet record. And it was, we're all like, what the heck, that was amazing, you know? And it was kind of a joke because it only lasted, or not a joke, but we kind of laughed about it afterwards because it only lasted about 5 minutes. And then two throwers later came along and moved ahead of him and got it there. But what an amazing accomplishment for him as well to have that, and ended up finishing third overall, and just a great season. So I think all in all, we had a really good year, and very proud of those individuals and proud of our team. And Kelly has an individual to talk about as well who really had a great year as well.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about Kendra Kruger. She had an amazing season this year. She's had amazing seasons through all of high school, but this year was like her best she's ever run. She is the state champion in the 800 and also the mile. So she holds the state meet record for the 800, and she holds our school record in both the 800 and the mile. So fantastic season for her. She also competed at Hamlin in the 800 and the 1600. She broke the 5-minute mark in the mile, so she's running a 4:53 mile. So incredible for her. She's on to Tampa for school next year. So congratulations to her.
Great, good. So, we'll mail them to them, okay. So we have certificates for all of the kids. And just a side note, congratulations to Holly. Yeah. You want to talk about that a little bit?
So this year, on kind of a sad note, we had two of our longest tenured coaches. They'd both been with us for 10 years, and that was Mike Coddington and then Holly Penny. And they're both stepping down at the end of the year and moving on, more so for family things and stuff like that. One of the things is that you have to be a member of the Coaches Association in order to be nominated for an award. And I didn't remind Mike in time to do it. So Mike wasn't, otherwise I would have nominated Mike as well. But we nominated Holly because she was part of the Coaches Association. And sure enough, she ended up being named the Assistant Coach of the Year for our section, which is really a cool accomplishment. And she's just had, her accolades are very, she's had so many great accolades. She's coached a 4x8 and a 4x4 that has a state meet record. She's coached, 2 state champions in Caleb and Kendra, and just has so many great accomplishments. And so we'll miss her, we'll miss Mike, and very proud of her and her award, though. Yeah.
Congratulations to her. Thank you. Okay, and Mr. Sand for the Golf Awards.
Thank you for having us tonight. My name's Ozzie Sand, and I'm here with the 2023 Jordan Girls Golf Team. We were fortunate enough to make it to state again this year. Last year, the same 6 made it to state. It was a little bit of a surprise. We weren't predicted to go to state as a team, and we shot really well at section. And then, one of the hardest thing to do is when you have everyone back to repeat that. And that was kind of our focus this entire year. We've had a lot of success in the Jordan Girls Golf program, and these girls really took it as a challenge to themselves to make it back to state. And not only are we able to make it back for our 2nd year in a row, this for the Jordan Girls Golf program is 6th in the last 7th year, and that is on these girls and how hard they've worked. One of the best things about this group is them all being here tonight. They're very tight. We have a 9th grader going to be sophomore. We have 2 juniors, and then we have 3 seniors that are leaving us. Another awesome thing is as I was giving a ride to a couple of our girls in, they're all, they're caddying for each other tomorrow, so they're really a tight-knit group. And I'm going to say a little bit about each one of them. We'll have Hannah. Hannah is she's our 9th grader. We always say she's our 9th grader, but she's probably the one we can rely on the most. She's very organized, and she's always, planned ahead, and we really appreciate that about her. She only played in 2 events last year before the section meet, so this was her first full year, and she did a nice job stepping in for us. Cameron King is a junior. She's going to come back next year, and she's going to be one of our captains. And we're excited for her. She didn't go out for golf until she was a 9th grader. And the development she's had over these past 3 years to, shooting her best round in the 90s this year has been awesome to see. And then we have our 3 seniors that we're really going to miss. They kind of came in at a weird year with, no other seniors with them as sophomores, and they really took that leadership role right from the get-go. They've been captains the last 2 years. They have a lot of records to their name. Victoria holds our individual record for the 18-hole meet. She holds the section record as an individual, and she has our best finish as a female with the 4th place finish at state last year. And she's also been 2-time All-State. Along with Morgan, she's been 2-time All-State as well. So we have a lot of great leaders and great players with our 3 seniors, so we appreciate everything they've done. Just a little bit more about them. They set the school record for the 18 holes as a team this year. They broke their own section record as well, which was a big accomplishment as we beat Southwest Christian in the section, and they broke their school record both days, so we had to play well to get out of our own section. Very proud of this group and what they've done, and congratulations this year.
Cameron, Avery. Yes, thank you, dear. Morgan, Anna, and Victoria. So let's get a picture.
Squeeze in there. Perfect. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah?
Good.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies, for representing Jordan well. We're very proud of you, and to those seniors, good luck as you go on to the next step in your life. So thank you. Thanks for being here tonight. Great. Okay. No public comments. Consent agenda, we have a bunch. We have the minutes from the June 12th regular meeting, the June 26th workshop meeting, the July financials. For donations, we have a whole bunch for the Jordan Trap team. So Herman's Landscape, $500, Lindsay's Barbecue, $200, Fish Lake Sportsman Club, $595, Michael and Christy Johnson, $200. Deborah and Scott Hagan, $200. Ray's Remodeling, $200. Brent Redines and Barb Hannon, $300. Fish Lake Sportsman Club, $1,000. Penny Family Chiropractic, $300. Jerome and Kristen Beach, $100. Robert and Amy Mahold, $200. The Pickled Pig, $300. Jeffrey and Amy Radek, $100. Rye Guy Asphalt Repair, $300. John and Jeanette Radek, $300. Albright Masonry, $300. Hannon Equipment, $200. Southside Electric, $300. Jordan Transformer, $300. Lawns R Us, $100. Wolf Motors, $300. Goldsmith Eye Care, $100. South Metro Carpet and Upholstery, $200. Innovative Insurance, $100. Rolex Vans, $200. Jeff and Amy Radek, $340. Matthew and Carol Fry, $170. Tom LeClaire and Lana Plaschinskaya, I'm sorry about that, $170. Eric Hinkle, $180. Tony and Alicia Cooley, $255. Jody Peterson, $170. Thomas and Janet Dold, $170. Scott and Deborah Hagan, $340. Christian and Michelle Stay, $170. Derek and Jennifer Everett, $255. Robert and Amy Mahold, $340. Matt and Jody Bertrang, $85. Ray's Remodeling, $255. Derek and Jennifer Everett, $50. Brent Redines and Barb Hannon, $340. Christian and Michelle Stay, $25. Jennifer and Dale Lacey, $85. Jeff Maltz Flooring, $200. And an anonymous donation of $2,125. And then we have a donation for the JHS Concert Choir. That actually is a donation of a golf group that Donna James used to be in. So everybody chipped in with the intent that music would be purchased for the high school choir in the amount of $250, and Total Home Solutions for the JHS band in the amount of $1,000. And I think we need to get the Jordan track team to do some fundraising for us. Okay, policies. So let's see, the first one, the student discipline added language regarding exclusionary measures. That was due to some of the recent legislation. Social media, there was no changes. Public data requests, no changes to note. Crisis management was in regard to the no active shooter drills allowed language. That again was part of legislation. The overdose medication included language that we have to have, I believe, two doses of Narcan available. And so there's language in that policy that was added to add that. All of the next ones, there was no changes other than cleaning up, like changing STAT to statute, spelling it out. There was no significant changes. It was strictly some editing that the state is requiring that we do with policies. And that's for all of the rest of them. So then we have we have new hires. Elementary school special ed teacher Molly Miller comes in at a BA1. New hire, elementary school grade 1, Royce Wiersma comes in at a BA10. New hire, elementary school behavioral specialist Matthew Phillips, Masters plus 40 at step 7. New hire, special ed teacher Kathleen Daly, a BA10, step 3. New hire, elementary EL teacher Kelsey Wilson, a BA1. And I am very happy to welcome our new hire activities director, John Butine. John, you want to give a shout out? We're very happy. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, just really want to thank everybody for the opportunity. Have had a delightful process through the interview and meeting everybody here. Everybody's been very welcoming, so I'm really excited to get started. So thanks for the opportunity.
We look forward to working with you. Thank you, John. We have the resignation of our head softball coach with thanks, Brian Martin. Also, middle school cross country coach Kelly Heyer with thanks, and JV track coach Michael Coddington with thanks. And then I'm not going to read all the contract renewals for all of the spring sports. They're listed there. So I will entertain a motion to approve consent items.
Motion to approve.
Molly, is there a second?
Second.
Rob, any discussion on anything? Okay, hearing none, all those.
Can you back up? Sorry.
Yeah.
Can you go through what you said on the crisis management policy that needed to be updated? I'm sorry, I know I wasn't able to go to
You
policy.
want to explain that? Yep.
Okay.
Yep, so part of the legislation this year requires that districts do not have active shooter drills. We never have, and I actually have no idea who would. But that is just some of the language that came through legislation that is part of your crisis plan. You can't simulate active shooter drills with students, and we wouldn't. So it's required to be part of our policy. Good question.
Good question.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any more questions? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Review and act on the bond sale resolution. Mr. Hart, thank you for being here tonight.
Good evening, Michael Hart with PMA. I'm here to report to the board on the bond sale. So this is kind of the end of a long process. I think I was here just a year ago at your July meeting to start this process and begin through the conversation here. So What we're talking about is the last board action on the sale of the bonds related to the successful referendum in April of the $34.99 million to improve your elementary school and the safety and security at your high school. Here's a summary of the final results from the sale that we held on June 21st versus what we shared with you as a part of the pre-referendum review and comment process. So the amount of the bonds is the same. We ended with a lower interest rate. We were just shy of 4% in terms of the final interest rate when we sold the bonds. And we had a little bit more bond premium through the bond sale and less capitalized interest. And those two things together are allowing us to add some additional funds to your project fund, which you can use and give you a little bit of flexibility in terms of the budget with your project. Again, this is review, but in terms of the bond structure, the payment structure, the blue and the green here represent your current bond payments. The red represents the bond payments related to this new bond. And so we'd expect your bond payments to be relatively stable over the next 20 years once this is in place. Or it's just shy of 20 years, actually. It's 18 years when you see this. We've included in the presentation, the packet, I'm not going to read this line by line, but a detail here in terms of the cost of issuing the bonds, how the bond premium and the capitalized interest, and then the cost of issuing the bonds, including the financial advisor, bond counsel, underwriters, all the professional consultants that helped you through the process here. In terms of the sale process, I've listed on here the items. You had a successful referendum in April. The board authorized us to proceed with the sale at your May 8th meeting. We went through the process and had bond documents drafted. We did a bond rating, which I'll talk about here in a moment. We sold the bonds on June 10th. We're asking for the board's ratification via resolution tonight. That's the action that you have. And then the district will actually receive the funds on August 2nd after we have finished all the legal documents. And you can, get to the fun part, or the more fun part, in terms of completing the project that you've talked about extensively. In terms of the rating, I thought it was worth highlighting. We went through a process, and the district administration was included in a conference call with folks from Moody's Investor Service. They provide a third-party opinion to the bond market that evaluates the school district's ability to pay and credit worthiness. I pulled out a highlight or a quote from that rating report that just kind of reflects, I think, the good work that you're doing, that your administration is doing in terms of the things that are in your control as a school district. You have an A1 rating, but the rating reflects solid financial position. Your resident income, you folks don't have any control over that, but you have really strong, solid financial position. You've had some enrollment changes, which has been very typical across the state. And so you're in a really solid, sound position financially, and you have a third-party opinion out there that's saying that to you. So in terms of the next steps, beyond your approval tonight, the funds will come in on August 2nd. Those funds we have already worked with your administration and with construction folks that you have hired to project out when you'll need that money throughout the life of the project, and we'll help you invest the funds accordingly so that we can maximize your interest earnings through the construction period. As well as a part of that, we'll also be monitoring. There are lots of regulations around tax-exempt bond issues and how the money can be used, and we'll be helping you monitor that process to make sure you're in compliance with IRS arbitrage rebate regulations. So that's the kind of the review, high-level review I have of the sale, and happy to answer any questions about the overall process or the action that you have in front of you tonight via resolution.
Questions?
I think it's a testament to your good work that we don't have any questions.
I love it. Thank you.
So the next step is that we approve the resolution.
Correct, yep.
Okay. Any no questions for Michael? So I do have one. It's maybe a dumb but like, as the money comes in, can that just be put like in a CD for X number of months that earns more interest than?
It's not a dumb question at all. So what we do is we get a construction draw schedule. So Kraus Anderson has provided that to us, and of course it's an estimate, but they know when the big payments are going to be and when the bulk of the construction is going to happen. And so some of the money you'll need in the coming months to pay for design fees and things, and then as you get into construction heavily, particularly next summer, there's larger payments. So we'll take that, and we'll always leave some of the money liquid and available, but then we'll go and look at those types of investments, and it's restrictive in terms of what's allowable in state statute. So we're not buying stocks with your bonds funds. We're buying, looking at CDs or U.S. Treasury obligations or other things like that, and buying them for when you expect to need them to try to maximize the interest that you can earn.
Okay, so the resolution, that we are voting on, is a resolution relating to the $34,990,000 general obligation school building bond series 2023A, ratifying the award of sale, describing the form in detail, and providing for the payment thereof. Correct? That's
Correct.
the resolution. Okay, so I need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Molly?
I'll second.
Jenny, okay, further questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Sarah Lanen. Lauren Pedersen.
Yes.
Molly Maniak.
Yes.
Rob Langheim.
Yes.
Corinne Hennen.
Yes.
Jenny Kuski.
Yes.
Deb Polly.
Yes. Okay,
Thank you all.
thank you very much. Yep, have a good night, Michael. Okay, on to 8.2, review and act on the 10-year long-term facility maintenance plan revenue application and resolution. Mr. Lehman? And oh, yeah, we do. Okay. You're right, yes. Mhm. I think you're right.
Good evening. So this is an annual event. So every year we have to approve the LTFM 10-year expenditure and revenue plan. So the plan that you're going to make a resolution for tonight is for fiscal year 25, based on the levy dollars. So I go through and I fill out a 10-year expenditure Excel spreadsheet, and what that does, it just puts placeholders in the expenditure places, like per finance code, such as site improvements, fire panels, interior, roofing, and just put it where we think it might go. And then I do the same thing for the revenue. So our revenue is based on APUs, or adjusted pupil units, so then that kind of gives us an idea of how much state aid we're going to get and how much levy dollars we're going to get each year. And so this year, what really helped Dan and myself do, last week 2 weeks ago, we met with Tim Kitla with KA. They went over our 10-year, an updated and revised 10-year plan, kind of laying out what we need to do. They have a new, it's called a dashboard for us, where we can mark off things that are done. We went through and they also, with Dustin, with KA, what's going to be with the referendum dollars, with the elementary school, and then what's also going to be for LTFM dollars. So we did that. Dan and I also met with Garland Company that same week, basically because we all know that our high school roof is going to need some looking into, and so they're going to help us do some things with that. They actually they're going to put a plan in place, and I think this year's just going to be some major repairs just to get us by, so we can keep building our LTFM dollars. But with the advice of KA and with the 10-year plan, some of the things listed on here that are going to be done this year, hopefully with fiscal year 25. So some of the major things are, we're always going to do the anticipated roof repairs at the high school. They're advising us to replace some stadium doors, do some duct cleaning at the high school. I'm going to let Dan talk a little bit more about that. We need some generator repair on the high school generator. and just some other basic repairs that are not, they're not big ticketed items, but they're big enough that we'll still be able to reserve some of our LTFM dollars for the next couple years. So that's my recommendation, and I'm gonna let Dan talk about some of the repairs that need to be done.
So some of the repairs that we have on our list for the summer, you can see on the sheet, we got, the, stadium doors. Last year, we went around, we replaced all the locks and rekeyed it to, the high school keys, where we have ownership of those keys. We didn't before. That was, on Ames when they built it. So now we're gonna get the doors fixed, so we can get that completely off our list there. Duct cleaning, that's put down as a major project for the high school. I did talk with Dustin from KA. We could kind of separate it out, kind of do a couple air handling units, you know, this quarter and then a couple later. It might be a benefit to us not to have it all done at once. So I'm going to be looking to those revenues or avenues. Generator repair, that I think is going to be smaller than a major full replacement. Working on getting quotes on that. Chiller enclosure at the middle school. We have some water issues coming into the block and coming out, so we're worried about the structural integrity of that down the road. So we're going to try to be preventative and get it sealed up so we don't have that issue. Roof repairs at the elementary school. There's some minor things that we gotta touch up on the area, like the newer addition. Mini split at the elementary school for the IT closet that went down before, well, probably about a year ago. We have some temporary system in place right now. VFDs, those are variable frequency drivers. They control motors for our pumps. We have 4 of them there that are past their life expectancy, so we're working on getting those swapped out. There's some others that we're working on at the high school. Yeah. Busy, very busy, yes. Any questions on any of this, or?
So for the money for the elementary school, none of that is included in referendum? Like the roof?
So this area that, we're gonna be getting a new roof on the older section,
Okay.
through referendum dollars. But the other areas, the newer additions, that's not gonna be touched. So we still have some needs there. That's a almost 20-year-old roof. So, 2022.
And the duct cleaning, you mentioned it would be more beneficial for us to maybe spread it out. Is that from a cost standpoint, or just is it gonna be very messy and like?
Both, because you don't want to
Okay.
shut down ventilation to the whole building. And we have so many different groups that are in there throughout the whole summer, throughout the whole school year. We don't want to have to move them and interrupt their programs. So it might be beneficial to us to do 1 or 2 air handlers and all the duct work through them. Just break it up in segments.
Would it be something that you just do in the summer, or you would have to do it throughout the year?
It could be done in the summer or even like winter break or spring break timeframes.
Thank you.
And also, you know, we're always just trying to reserve our LTFM dollars, you know, make the most of them. So I am projecting that at the end of fiscal year 2024, we hope to have a carryover of $800,000. And then that's able to build and work on the other projects that are in need too. And, you know, when it comes time to do a roof replacement, we'll be working with our financial advisors because that's a more costly expense. And that's also how come we got Garland and Company involved, because they do, I mean, they work for school districts and they're gonna help us with the financial planning and also helping get the most for our money as well.
So do you want to go through the spreadsheets at all, or?
I mean, you can show them, they're very hard to read up here, and really, I mean, all it is, it's placeholders.
Mhm.
You know, it's showing, what the spreadsheet's gonna show is like, we're not spending a lot of money in '23, we're not spending a lot of money in '24, we're spending the majority of our dollars in '25, and '26, and '27.
And so that'll get updated every year, so
Yes.
it's a worksheet, it's
And-
not,
And it's just a placeholder.
yeah, not necessarily
And
helpful.
it doesn't really list any projects, it's by finance code. So then, like after our fiscal year is ended, by December, then I'll have to send another spreadsheet to MDE saying what our expenses really were, and reconcile that as well.
And this is a thing we do every year,
This is a thing we do every year.
projecting out 10 years.
Yep.
And it's a requirement.
Mhm. Any questions? Okay, then let's see. This is a resolution. You want to pull the resolution up? Thank you. Which I can't read. Basically, it's to approve and authorize Jordan Public Schools, District 717 long-term facility maintenance 10-year revenue and expenditure plans as shown in the documents provided. So I will entertain a motion to approve the 10-year long-term facilities maintenance plan.
Motion to approve.
Corinne, is there a second?
I'll second.
Jenny? Okay, further questions or discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Lauren Pedersen,
Yes.
Molly Maniak,
Yes.
Rob Langheim,
Yes.
Corinne Hennon,
Yes.
Jenny Kuski,
Yes.
Deb Polly,
Yes.
Sarah Lehman.
Motion carries. Thank you. Thanks for your work on this, you guys. Review and approve the MSBA membership and subscriptions. Superintendent Evenson.
So this is an annual process we do every year. As you're probably all really aware, MSBA is our resource to keep us really up to date with all legal services, policy, any legislative changes. They provide us a ton of guidance and the legal support for that. Also, Board Book Premier, which is what you use as a school board, you know, really to operationalize the meetings and hold the data and the materials. And so annually, we approve that membership.
Okay. So I will entertain a motion to approve the 2023-24 membership in the Minnesota School Boards Association.
I move to approve it.
Jenny, is there a second?
Second.
Rob? Okay. Discussion or questions?
What is it on kind of a year-over-year basis, just out of curiosity?
What is it, what?
I mean, I know that this is very reasonable, but just curious.
What
we
was the
paid-
question?
What we paid last year, what we paid the year before.
Typically, like when I was on the board, they kept their increases anywhere between 1% and 4%, so it was pretty minimal. I don't know exactly what the percentage
know.
was this year.
It wasn't notable. It wasn't anything that stood out as different.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any further questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Molly Maniak,
Yes.
Rob Langheim,
Yes.
Corinne Hennon,
Yes.
Jenny Kuski,
Yes.
Deb Polly,
Yes.
Sarah Lehman, Lauren Pedersen,
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, review and act on the Teachers on Call update and annual approval of the contract renewal.
So, as you know, Teachers on Call is our substitute teacher and substitute para calling. It's a 2-year contract that we approve. So in August of 2022, we raised the teacher sub rate from $129 a day to $145 a day. And we also, They receive an incentive bonus if they work a full week in our district, so they'll get an extra day's pay if they work 5 days. Right now, and then at that time, we raised the paraprofessional sub rate from $12.50 to $15 an hour. And the administrative fees, that's something that we can't control. That's what Teachers on Call charge us, is staying the same at about 36.85%. So for a teacher, for a sub-teacher rate at $145 a day, we pay Teachers on Call $198.44. But we use them because it's a lot easier trying to get the subs through them than having our admin assistants try to call and try to get someone, and then there's just not enough subs to cover. So it's my recommendation that we approve this contract for Teachers on Call and continue using them.
Who pays like the extra 145 if they work the whole week?
The district does. It's divided up. I usually try to see, like, if it's a sub that's subbed all week in the elementary school, I'll take it out of their building budget, or it's just district-wide, or whoever subs.
So
But
it's
the
like a
district
separate
does.
check that they get from us, not Teachers on Call?
They get everything from Teachers on
Everything's
Call
from-
because they're Teachers on Call employees.
But we get billed.
But we get invoiced from Teachers on Call for that.
Yeah.
So we just tell them like, okay, they completed, they get the like bonus.
Yeah,
on Call
Teachers on
knows.
Call
Yeah.
keeps
Right.
record of that. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they do everything.
And it's not unique to our district. A lot of districts offer different incentives just to attract and retain subs.
Yeah,
I will say it has been helpful, and we've had better success this year than previous years with having substitutes available.
And they just use Frontline, right? Or what used to be ASAP?
Yes.
So does Teachers on Call pay for that, or do we pay for that? Or
We
both?
pay for the front line.
But
for-
Frontline
for
isn't
the
just for that.
application.
We use
Yeah.
Frontline
Yeah.
for many things.
Yeah, the teacher will just go in and put their absence into Frontline, and, compared to bonuses, like Belle Plaine also offers a bonus, New Prague offers a bonus. There's just more schools that are doing it all the time just because there's such a shortage of teacher subs.
No, I think it's great.
Mhm.
I wonder if
Yeah.
we were to not use them and pay our subs like $180 a day, like if that,
We would need to add staff, probably 2
Yep.
full-time people to do what they do for us. So
Yeah.
we would save no money.
oh, okay.
That'd be the hard part.
Yeah, and that's the way it used to be done years ago, like when the first year that I started here. It puts a lot of stress on those admin assistants because they're getting calls as early as 5 a.m. Hey, I'm not going to be here. You need to find a sub, and then it's up to them to find that sub.
Doesn't that all go through like Frontline though?
Now it does.
Yeah,
So
now,
couldn't we continue to do that though? Like use Frontline to like,
no,
and not have Teachers on Call do it?
no.
No, Frontline doesn't do that. They just enter, that's just like their database where they enter it, and then we get that information where now Teachers on Call
We would
gets that.
still have to have somebody
Yeah.
physically man a list of potential subs
Mhm.
and then call down and I've done this in other districts years ago, and call 10, 15 people to see if they'll be willing to come in, all while you have kids coming in the door.
Yeah.
It is not something that I would ever recommend.
I just thought it was automated nowadays. Like
No.
No,
the sub goes in and then they can like look
No.
and see what's open and then, or they get a call.
no.
But, thanks, just curious.
For the bonus, we get billed 198 as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, any other questions? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve renewing our contract with Teachers on Call.
Motion to approve.
Lauren, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Molly. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Rob Langheim,
Yes.
Corinne Hennon,
Yes.
Jenny Kuski,
Yes.
Deb Polly,
Yes.
Sarah Lanen, Lauren Pedersen,
Yes.
Molly Maniak.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Thanks, Amy. Okay, on to board report, Superintendent.
Yeah. Just in case you wonder why I keep looking out the window, I just got a little notice we're in a severe thunderstorm warning. but I-
For us?
Yeah, that's what
A
it
warning
says.
or a
That's-
watch?
It
It
says
says there.
warning on my phone.
Really?
I keep seeing the dark sky, so it's not that I'm avoiding eye contact. I just see the sky out there. But, all right, so within my board report, just a couple of items that I would note. Back to school planning is underway. It's kind of my favorite because we miss the kids and we miss the staff when they're gone, so it's fun to, get the hiring complete, and we're starting to see some of the building projects take shape. So it's fun right now. We're getting ready for workshop week and all of that. We have our first flex days coming up for staff to be coming in for professional development. So I think we'll have 2 completed already by August 2nd. So it's a busy time. In addition to that, we've been meeting with Benjamin Bus. Talked to Eric again today. They came in and met with the admin team. As you recall, we'll be staggering our start times between JES and then the middle and high school for this coming school year for a few different reasons. One is the congestion that we see. We have a large number of elementary families that do drop-off pickup and essentially just park on Sunset and Aberdeen for sometimes a half an hour. And so we will be trying staggering some of those start and end times. The other things that come into play with this, Benjamin Bus is kind of navigating a lot of construction in the area. I think Eric and I started meeting with different folks with the Highway 21 project already probably December. And so that won't be completed, I heard, until almost October. So we're hopeful that 21 is progressing and moving along, but those are some of the things that Benjamin Bus is navigating as they're building their bus schedules this year. So that'll be something that we'll be communicating out with families, because it will look different to have an 8:15 start time at the elementary and 8 a.m. at the high school along with middle school. So, but it is the right thing to do. So feeling good about that. And but anytime there's change, there's a change in routines for staff and for families. So totally acknowledge that, but it is the right thing to do. Abatement project update. They are flying with that project. As you can see, they put the first lift down just a couple of days ago, I think, down by the Cirque. Next Monday and Tuesday, they'll be doing the crack and chip sealing in sections of the high school lot. And then, we hope that it won't be too long until it's all done. They were out there working on Saturday, I saw, finishing up some of the sidewalks. So they've been pretty aggressive in getting things done for us. So really excited about that. SM Henches has been just a great partner. Referendum building project, we completed that 3rd round of engagement meetings with staff. We had, 2 or 3 days actually in this room with staff members, really going through the next level of some of the design questions and things. We'll be bringing that to our team, and then in August at the work session, ISG will be coming to work with you as a board and show you the design projects and as we move forward. So it's been really well attended. I have to say, for the number of staff members to come in the summer on their own time and volunteer, I was just really proud of them. I mean, I know how busy it is. I had littles in the summer too, and a lot of people made arrangements to make it happen. So we're really appreciative of that. I know the design team has been meeting with the city of Jordan too, just on some of the components with the roadways, just to make sure everything is as it should be. But again, Oversight Committee will be meeting again soon, and we just continue to move forward. I'd also note the combined city-school meeting. We had a request from the city to shift it to August 21st. So you probably saw that reflected on your calendar. I already know that there's at least one from the city that can't join on that day. We may end up just having it with whoever can make it, because it's worthwhile. It's a nice partnership, nice conversation to keep going. So, but I'll keep you posted if there's any changes. Also, you can see the number of important dates and events. I had to put the font smaller so I could fit it all on the page.
What time is that?
6:30.
6:30 for August 21st?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Outside of that, I think that's all I have. Any questions?
Can you just refresh my memory, the staggered start times that are gonna be at each building?
We haven't published them for families yet. I did slip and say it out loud.
Well, I heard one of them and then I was like, wait, what's the other?
Because
too, and I was gonna say, what's the end time?
yeah. And we're actually being very intentional with making sure it's exactly right before we share that out. So I do apologize, I did slip and say
It's okay, it's
number.
coming, so it's.
It's coming, it's
Yeah.
coming, but we want to make sure that our partners at Benjamin Bus are able to explore all the things they need to as well and be respective of that partnership too, so. But what I can
Ask,
say is there'll be a 15-minute stagger.
is it possible to know that or communicate that out to families, but like when Kids Co starts for like signing up for like the fall? I think that opens like, is it the
I-
24th or something?
I
End
can't
of the
answer
month?
that right now, I don't
Yeah.
know, but we'll look.
If you could, I guess that would
Yeah.
help families plan.
Mhm. Yep.
What's happening to Field 5?
Yeah, that'll be something that the facilities committee will talk through. We know that it'll probably turn into field space, just green space.
Okay.
Because we can't have kids hitting balls at cars in the parking lot.
I
And-
thought 5 was going with the parking lot, so that's why I was just
Yeah.
wondering.
So, like, one of the things we're talking about, though, is moving that agri line over to, one of the fields behind the elementary school, because we can reuse that material. I don't know that we're gonna be able to repurpose the big fence with the 5 on it. Sometimes when you take that down and it's older, it just isn't salvageable. But it will turn into green space likely. The timing of it is something we're not sure on right now. So we'll probably take that through facilities committee and hopefully have that done, by next spring. But for right now, I'm sure like people could do fielding and things like that on it, but once we get the parking lot going, we just probably don't want kids hitting balls towards the lot, Yeah. Good question, though. I'm sad to lose Field 5, but
Bill was very sad. He's like, what?
I know.
It's been there forever.
I know. Well, I always still think like when I taught here, like home base was over here. This was a field too.
Yeah, how crazy.
So,
It
was.
You can put a dog up
Right?
there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember. It was.
I remember playing softball.
I know.
on the
There would
field
be cars parked all the way
Yeah.
along the street. and-
But we're
So you
moving on,
didn't get
bigger and
hit.
better.
Right? I know.
now. Stay stuck in the past with us, Rob. Come on.
Going
Your driver's
forward.
license back.
The complex is still gravel.
Going
It's
forward.
fine.
Right. No, good questions, but I don't know the timing of it, honestly, and it's probably gonna be our people's manpower, doing that and moving some of that agri line and that, but it's probably gonna be more green space.
Good deal. Any other questions? Okay. And then we have the other administrative teams' reports. Any questions on any of their reports or any comments? They have lots going on. Okay. Hearing none, then we'll move on to committee reports. Calendar did not meet. City School has not met. We'll, like Superintendent Evenson said, we'll be meeting August 21st. Community Ed Rec. Lauren or Corinne?
We did not meet.
Okay, community, curriculum and technology did not meet. Facilities, we did not meet. Meet and confer, we did not meet. Negotiations has not started up yet. Policy. There was a virtual meeting last week. I wasn't able to be in on it, and there is another one coming up.
Yep.
So I believe the next one, there's gonna be more substantial changes.
Yeah. Required changes.
Required
Yeah.
changes, yeah. Okay, APAC has not met. Booster Club.
Met, I did not attend.
I hear there's a date for the gala though.
There is. It's in
Oh.
February. It's gonna be awesome.
February
That's
4th or
awesome.
something like that, I believe.
It's a good time of year. There's nothing happening like.
And it's
Mhm.
gonna be at the golf course, which is
I
gonna be
love
great.
it.
It's gonna
Okay.
be fun. Yeah, we're gonna knock it out of the park. It's gonna be great.
Good.
Good. Okay, Ed Foundation.
Is that, I'm like, what, who's that? We meet tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay.
Meet tomorrow. I thought you met next week.
Us, you mean?
The Education Foundation?
Yeah, I think it's tomorrow, isn't it?
Is it? Oh, okay. I
Let
was
me
talking to-
confirm.
I was- I was-
Nope, next week.
I was talking to
It's
Jenny
usually the
earlier.
third
Next week.
Tuesday.
Okay.
Legislative, kind of quiet time right now, knock on wood. MSHSL, nothing new. Scale, Lauren, you didn't meet with Scale, did you?
No, I did not.
Okay, SEAC didn't meet. Southwest Metro, we started contract negotiations. We met one whole day last week. We met 3/4 of a day today, we're meeting 3/4 of a day tomorrow. We have 4 more days set. We have a board and administrative team retreat coming up. I think it's the 20th or
I think,
something
yeah,
like
next
that.
Tuesday maybe.
So, they sealed the deal on the Eastern Carver School, I believe. So I believe they're actually working in the building the way it sounded, so lots going on there. So, to be continued. Okay, Molly, anything on the personal side?
Trying to think. No, they had state softball for the little JGFA this weekend. 10 new girls, or Peyton's team took 3rd in state, so it's pretty good.
Awesome.
There's lots of sports, I don't wanna think about back to school anything, so I'm ignoring it. Which then kind of creates anxiety, because you're like, if I don't buy the supplies now, the good folders will be gone.
What
You know,
did Corinne say in June? Calm down, Renee.
It's fine now because it actually is halfway over.
Okay.
But before it was June 10th or June 12th.
It was like day
Okay,
2 or
we're
something.
talking about, you know, it's like,
And you're right, the crayons will all be gone. Last year I could not find
I know.
24 pack of crayons.
And then you have to go online, and it's like $25 for the ball. No, unheard of.
Supply and demand.
you guys can
Yeah.
come to my house. I have a bunch of stuff that my
I know.
kids never, I mean, I'm
I
just
make
gonna
my kids
repackage it.
reuse. I'm like, grab a
Yeah.
Ziploc bag, grab a color from the box, put it in there.
Bag of crayons.
Yep,
Scratch
exactly.
out the teacher's name.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. But now everything's going good. Summer's good. Flying by. But going good.
Okay, Rob?
Yeah, summer's going very well. Not quite at the point where unstructuredness is giving us anxiety to say get kids back. But no, it's good, and it's it's sad that there's so many faces that have been a part of the district for so long that are moving on to kind of next chapters in their life. But it's exciting to see some of the new faces that are going to be coming in, and excited to see the fresh perspective, fresh energy. So certainly welcoming them in, but doing my best to enjoy the summer before the hectic of fall starts.
Corinne?
Yeah, samesies. I mean, sports, kids in sports, t-ball, gymnastics, volleyball camp next week, then vacation, then more vacation. We have a lot of vacation, so.
Where are you going on vacation?
Well, we're just going to the cabin. I'm not going to Hawaii. So.
Not everybody's Jenny.
I could go, but I'm just going to
I'll
my
see your
cabin.
cabin and I'll raise you
Yeah.
out.
So Brainerd, Ian Brainerd.
You never
It's
know.
fun. Yeah, I don't. It's like not busy but busy kinda because the kids are home and trying to work through that. So I do welcome a little bit of school coming back. Although I do selfishly kind of like having them home too, like
Sure.
eat lunch together and just things like that. So
It's special.
yeah,
Jenny?
nothing crazy.
Well, we got back from vacation, and then I emptied the kids' backpacks with all their stuff, and then refilled them with the start of school supplies.
Oh my gosh.
boy.
And it's because Target had them on sale. I was like, my husband was like, "Why are you buying that?" I'm like, "Do you want to pay 25 cents or $1.50 for crayons?" Like, so yeah, so I started that, and then the kids are just starting all the activities through the summer. So Maverick started coding camp today, and then I don't know when they're doing like the football, baseball stuff. All the camps coming up. It's like our whole July. So I don't know. Otherwise, that's it with us. Good.
Best years.
Lauren?
Things are fine on my end. I will not be able to be at the next city school meeting unless we add a Google Meets to it. I will not be in town. Sorry.
It's okay.
Lauren, are you ever in town? That's the question.
Not this has just on my defense. This has never happened to me where I have like had to do like Google Meet type things as much as it has this year. And if I'm lucky, I'll be able to get back into town soon enough. But we'll see. Congratulations to all the awards, the track team and the golf teams. Those are quite accomplishments, and our sports are always fun to watch, and they always do such a great job.
Great.
And really, I don't have anything else.
Thanks, Lauren. I really don't have much either, other than thanks to the coaches that took kids on our trips, the Spanish trip and then our wrestling trip out east. The kids had a great time. And I just want to thank the admin team for all their work over the summer. I know that summer is a busy time. There's so much that happens and goes on to prepare for the next school year. So, yeah, other than that.
Did students leave today for something?
We had a group of kids that went on a field trip. Where did they go? I talked to them this morning. That was this morning. US Bank Stadium. I think a group went and toured US Bank Stadium this morning.
They had like the neck pillows on, like they were going
Oh,
for a
that I
long
don't know.
haul.
I
It
just
was like
talked
That seems excessive for
it was
a
a
40-minute
ton
drive.
of kids, a ton of
That I don't know,
kids
but the
in the
kids I
parking lot
talked to.
going.
was
How old
going
about
US
teenagers.
Oh.
There was like a ton of cars, so I don't know where they were going.
The bus full that I talked to was going to US Bank Stadium. I don't know.
Yeah, that was like kids go.
Okay. Do you want to do Sarah's job?